All right, here we go. Shoulder FootyCast live from BackChat Studios. Mark Reddings, Will Schofield. I can promise one thing off the top of this show. No more politics. I've heard your feedback. I've seen your comments. Skate, we've melted YouTube down a little bit. So I'm just, we're not no politics.
In a positive or negative way?
No, just no politics, okay? All right, you're Joe Biden. I'm Donald Trump. That's as far as we go, okay? All right, that's fine. We can have a laugh at how stupid we both look, right? I'm a bald idiot.
Yeah.
You're a handsome bald idiot. I don't know. Just no more politics. Can we agree on that?
No politics.
Yeah,
okay.
no politics.
Just one quick question.
No politics.
Have they jumped up and down over it?
There's been a fair bit of feedback.
Isn't it funny? Like, you can talk footy and you get half the feedback. You mention politics and...
No, I went bananas. All right, but we're not doing it anymore. I'm just telling you, no more politics.
Shut your mouth.
There we go. Travis Kelce said it the best. Know your role and shut your mouth. You seem a bit up and about. You seem... has something happened? Has something happened? You come into receipt of something that's got you...
Oh, yeah, no.
You're a bit up and about. I mean, after parking in the car park that we explicitly told you not to park in... Right, so you've blocked up half the bloody. Our staff are just trying to survive, and you're pulling your big pay-wise car out the front, you're taking up five. Don't park there. Skeeter pulls into the car park.
I wanted to check whether I could actually park out the front without getting a ticket,
You literally
which would put me in deficit for this podcast.
You walked into our studios and you threw your keys to India and said it was like a valet service. What else have you got in there?
Oh, that's all I've got.
How big's your wallet? There's a lot of cash in there.
No, there's no cash. But there
What's
is
happened?
a guest pass to the members at Flemington, which is that's for Derby Day, which is good. And the other one, which you will laugh at, I've written down off the back of having some malfunctions with my phone. That is what I've written down.
Can I read it out? Like, ladies and gentlemen, like, look at this. He's carrying it around. Oh my fucking god! So those just listening along, Skeeter has handed me a torn off quarter of a page of paper with red ink. Like, you didn't have a blue or black pen, or it's important, so it's in red.
I just grabbed the nearest pen.
Press and quickly release volume up. Press and quickly release volume down. Press and hold the side button when Apple logo appears. Release side bottom. Button and phone is fixed. And then I can continue to put bets on.
Exactly, Flemington. Because if I go blank on Saturday afternoon, I'll be ringing you. I'll be flying you to Flemington just to try and fix my phone, which you do in about 6 seconds.
All right, very good, Skeeter. Great to be here. Skeet, I will say, so this is the plan going forward, just for our audience. This is our last twice a week Shoulder FootyCast. Right, so it's bye-bye, but not forever. We're doing one a week through November.
We've got a bit happening. We've got the draft. We've got the fixtures coming out.
Correct. And excitingly, locked in at the end of November, the Shoulder FootyCast Trivia Night at the Leederville Hotel.
Wow.
So... You're hosting it.
Oh, there you go. It's even more of a wow because I didn't know I was involved.
No, you and I are going to host a trivia night, sport trivia night. To be honest, get down, get some friends, get some beers. Details to be released further, but just pencil that date in. Hey, if you want to rip off a piece of paper and you put it in your wallet and write the 27th of November at the Leederville Hotel, bring a phone that Skeet can use to put some... There's actually some nice operations there. There'll be plenty of shelters, all of that. That's all happening. Remember, San Cisco, November 8, down at Shelter Brewery. Make sure you get there. And you can use Shoulder FootyCast on shelterbrewing.com.au for 10% off beers right now. Skeet, like I said, no more politics. We're getting straight into the footy. There's actually a bit bouncing around, Skeet.
There is a bit, and I saw your good buddy wearing the Hawthorn jumper yesterday.
Let's start with that.
Resplendent, and he spoke. He always speaks well. I noticed a bit of kickback on social media from one of your media types here in WA. Was it the big Gossage? Goss got a bit questioning the...
was grumbling a bit.
I couldn't quite work. I didn't hear the full press conference. I heard him do his piece with Mitch Cleary on 7, but I didn't hear exactly what was said, but everything I heard was he was honest, he was open, and happy days to him.
I feel like I need to preface anything I say here with, I'm very good mates with Tom Barrass.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Clearly, right? It's one of my great mates through footy, but off the field, our kids are growing up together, all of that, right? So I'm more connected to Tom Barrass than I would be with anyone else really in the footy world. So I look at that with that lens. So I'm happy to say, yeah, I've got a bit of bias in it. But I saw Tom's interview with Hawthorn, which I will say, fucking said he was going to do with us, and I see fucking Mitch Cleary at fucking Channel 7. But anyway, should I have said that? Probably not. Anyway, Tom Barrass is in Hawthorn gear. He's, I think, answering very openly, honestly. And like you said, he speaks well. I think that's what we want out of players. Now, am I biased because I'm great mates with him? Probably, but you're not great mates with him, and you saw a bit of it. He just... I don't know. He was asked questions. He was open. He said he probably stuffed up the rug from under him. He got that wrong.
He said it didn't age well, but that's all you want. He was being transparent. He said at the time, that was his plan, was to play with the Eagles. Obviously, the deal that he was hoping for didn't come to fruition. Hawthorn came to the party. Sam Mitchell has got a good relationship with him. Mate, he's a football player who's moved on, a very good one, and the fact he appeared at the Eagles' fairest and best night, spoke, I wasn't there, but spoke really well.
Yep.
Some others who've departed their footy clubs this year didn't do that. That's their own call. But no, Tom Barrass, good luck to him. And I've got to say, I reckon most Eagles supporters, apart from maybe when they're playing against West Coast, will be hoping that he goes gangbusters.
A few of the quotes were he made a commercial decision and he put his family first. I would challenge any single person listening right now or watching. If you're faced with a decision and you put your family and the commercials of that decision first...
What are you putting first if you're not putting those two first?
How do you challenge it? The club and loyalty. Mate, loyalty in football does not exist. All these people talking about one club loyalty and loyalty to the club, and what about what the club's done for Tom or anyone else? Let me tell you, loyalty's bought in the AFL. These one club players, I was a one club player. So it's either bought or you're not good enough to go anywhere else, right? No one else wanted me. That's fine. I'm a one club player. I'm not it's not out of loyalty. I was getting remunerated by the West Coast Eagles and I was looked after nicely. Some of these other guys, Dangerfield. No, Lordy, right?
Let me throw one at you. Nick Larkey is one who struck me this year as going, wow, that's a guy, and good luck to him. I'm not bagging him.
He's not being loyal. He's been paid over $1 million.
But he's also could get money and success elsewhere, the same money.
But he's getting money at North Melbourne. He's not playing for free at North.
No, of course.
That's not loyalty. The loyalty element, I don't think everyone says, loyalty's going out of the game. You've got players moving everywhere and contracts don't exist. It just means that players are getting commercially looked after at another place.
We're just catching up with every other professional sport in the world that is more fluid with their movement, and we have got this romantic idea that whether it's a Will Schofield or whether it's a Tom Barrass plays at one club for his entirety of his career, which is fanciful to say that's the only way of doing it in modern footy. And you know what? It's a loyalty factor that has eroded away for clubs and players, and I think that's where it's at, and you just roll with it.
I would love someone in the YouTube comments, in Instagram, hit me personally, email, whatever you want to do. Challenge me on the decision to put yourself, your family, and the commercial decision first. Like, literally give me an argument that can go against that. I don't think you can go against it. The deal, and I was pretty vocal about this, I don't think it's a great deal for West Coast, but I also, in the same breath, don't think West Coast could have done any better. Hawthorn were never going to give more than what they gave. Hawthorn finished where they finished. The picks are what they were. Tom was only going to go to Hawthorn. West Coast got what they could out of it. And they probably did the same across the journey with Baker and Owies and all of that sort of stuff. I don't think they've done that well, West Coast, overall at the trade period. However, they couldn't have done probably any better. Can I say that in the same breath? Does that make sense why I can be critical and at the same time say they've done as well as they could have?
And you're neither going to be right nor wrong until we see how they go at the draft and what comes of it next year, and maybe post that, given if you pick up a good young player to support a Harley Reid or a good young forward or defender, that's where we'll start to get some results.
There's a bit of other player news rolling around. If we just stay with West Coast for a tiny bit, Oscar Allen, Rhett Bazzo are off to Qatar, Skeeter. So they are going to renowned sports physio Enda King, who is the same sports physio that McGovern, Yo, Harry Edwards visited at the end of 2023.
I wonder if they'll do an elbow and ask for an upgrade. I'm not sure. Oh, that's politics again. Sorry. Qatar, who are banned from flying in Australia because...
Skate. Just
good. Doesn't worry me.
Give me a note. Give me Travis. Where's Travis Kelce when we need him?
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Okay, so they are going to that same physio. Elliot Yo, I'd love to see exactly how many games he played. Elliot Yo played 20 games.
Yeah.
McGovern 19 games. Both of their most in a season since 2019. While Harry Edwards managed 17 games combined, AFL and waffle, and he broke his thumb or his hand.
In between, yeah.
I don't think you can fault that sort of process.
The question I guess I ask is, how come we don't have anything of the equivalent in Australia?
Money, because I spoke to Gov about this.
yeah.
I said, mate,
Why?
why don't you just go down to Wembley Physio?
Or wherever, a renowned...
Sure. Mate, it's money. He said, mate, it is the most remarkable experience he's ever been on in terms of sports science and physio and medical and all. It's a multi-million dollar hub where everything is there. Instead of having to go to a MRI scanning facility in Subiaco, then going over to the physio in Wembley, then going down to the track at McGillivray, then do it. It is all-purpose, everything in the spot. You go and get a body scan in one room. You literally walk out that door. Next door's the physio. You get a plan there. They pull you next door. There's the dietary requirements, and they've got the body scan within 20 minutes of you doing it. You do all of this in the space of 2 hours. Here in Australia, it'll take 2 weeks. So it is all in, everyone's best practice in the world in one facility. And what you can do within 5 days would take 5 weeks here in Australia. That's the difference. And it's the money, of course, but...
It's self-funded by the players, isn't it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Partially funded maybe by the players.
Maybe. I mean, why would it be? This is about their performance. Why wouldn't the club pay for this?
Oh, no, it's just a question. I'm not damning it if it is a club
I'd assume
venture.
I'd assume West Coast are paying for that.
Yeah, I would have thought if you're a player, you're also investing in your future as well. So maybe you're right.
This is for guys that have struggled with injury.
Yeah.
Oscar Allen, we saw, he struggled a lot this year with injury, didn't play many games. Rhett Bazzo's been the same, haven't played footy in 2 years. Like these are, Allen played 11 games this year, while Rhett Bazzo pretty much the entire season with groin issues. So this isn't regular player just to go and get a bit better. This is specific issues. They need to solve them. And clearly it's worked.
Yeah.
McGovern and Yo have done that. So be really interesting. I think Rhett Bazzo's got to have a big year to be, on the list for the future, really. So I'm sure he's excited about going and doing that skate.
Absolutely. And, he's a young bloke that he's been through more than anyone could ask for in the last 18 months. Let's hope he can just play some decent footy this year. And he's got potential and talent, so let's hope that's realised.
Jaden Stevenson, whatever you like.
Stevenson.
Sorry.
Gone. 25 years of age. It's young. I mean,
He's
2018 rising star, 120 plus games. Look, to be honest, and you and I have been critical of him at times playing for North, watching him and calling him on radio with his lack of physical presence on the ground. He's got the skill.
Never been that guy, though.
No, of course he hasn't. But you just think, wow, gee, the shelf life. I mean, I saw some stats, or certainly talking about how short his career was compared to other number one, rising star winners.
But we can't be critical of him, just like we can't be critical of Tom Barrass.
No, of
he's
course
putting
not.
himself first, and he's saying, I've had enough and I don't want to do it anymore.
And he's copped a lot of scrutiny, and maybe the criticism has got to him, which is fair enough. I think he's got a $500,000 roughly contract on the table. But so he's walking away from money for maybe peace of mind and being able to just go and lead what is regarded as a pretty normal existence, get a job, hopefully somewhere in footy, because he's still a young man in so many ways.
Yeah, I agree. Now, Joel Hamling and Aaron Francis will be delisted by the Swans, Skeeter, but they will be re-rookied, apparently. That's what they're talking about doing. So Aaron Francis...
Colin was on the same thing, I think, with Ash Johnson.
Yes. Markov.
Oleg Markov as well, yeah.
So it's a bit of a list strategy here. You delist them, you open up list spots on your senior list, so at the draft they can go and take more. Joel Hamling hasn't played since he came over from Fremantle, so I think that's an interesting one. He was playing in the forward line in the VFL throughout the year, so that was a strange one for mine. A couple of more AFL related ones. You want positive or negative? Which one would you like?
Oh, I think we react better to the negative stuff. You know,
having a whinge. AFL are investigating Chris Scott's leadership role with Morris Finance.
What is that? Is that either miscommunication or the AFL weren't paying attention at the time when this happened? Or how did this get through to the keeper? How did it get through to this point where we're now saying, the AFL's having a look at it?
Without being expert, Skater, which I'm not on most, apparently he's had a role with Morris Finance. That role seems to have changed. There seems to be maybe more money, maybe more or less responsibility. So I think probably initially, hey, I've got a relationship here. I'm getting paid to do this, and perhaps as the relationship's changed, or maybe he's doing more, and I'd assume getting paid more. Honestly, it's an assumption, but
you'd have to think that's the progression.
The AFL doesn't have an issue if he's getting paid less.
No,
right. So he's probably getting paid more, and they're going, hang on, you told us 5 years ago you were working with him, but now what's going on? Big fan Riley Nelson, who does the run sheets for this. Big Cats man.
Basically does the whole lot
So,
for us.
so Dan, he may as well be speaking. Dan put it to Riley that the Cats are running a corrupt organisation.
Oh, you reckon that didn't poke the
So
bear?
Riley, I think rightly so, has said this is just a box ticking exercise by the AFL that needs to look like they're investigating it. Everything will be all clear, and they'll be going, "Yep, go on your merry way, Chris Scott." Nothing's going to come out of this.
I'm going to be honest with you. My care factor for this story is about 1.2 out of 100. No, well, yeah, that's being honest. You want me to be honest or not?
Mate, the more honest you are, the better operator you are. But just keep you out of politics. Now,
I'm still sticking to my guns.
no, don't please. Well, don't start talking about guns.
Know your role
Oh,
and
really? Is that
shut
what I got
your mouth.
pulled up on?
No.
Oh, okay. Lots of things.
No.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
But just keep that playing the whole show. Now, all right, positive. The McClellan Trophy, which I believe is the best club.
Yeah, men's, women's has been
women's.
included in that now.
So if Hawthorn win on the weekend,
$1 million?
$1 million.
Thanks for coming.
Does that go to the players or does that go to the club?
That's a good question.
Because I can tell you what happens with the prize money for the grand final. It's effectively a negotiation
From the players to the club hierarchy.
from the club to the players. It's not
Well, vice versa, yeah.
The money doesn't come to the players and the player go, hey, club, do you want a bit of money? The club gets the payment and then they do a deal with the players, how much they see fit, who gets what.
What is the prize for winning the GF? Just and off the back of that, we know that whether it's Collingwood last year, Geelong, going back a couple of years, Eagles, you're looking at possibly through the upshot of what you've done, $2-3 million in turnover just through merch and everything.
Overnight. Mate, overnight.
Yeah, exactly. So
So $1
straight
million
away.
bucks at the merch desk overnight. So, look, let's say it's $1 million. I don't know exactly. I'm pretty sure when we won it that we split it 50-50. Club got 50%. Players got 50%.
Were you happy with that?
It's an interesting chat, isn't it? Who's responsible?
Because it's not a chat you'd have often during the year because it's like you're putting the mock on yourself.
No, you don't have it until it's there.
Yeah.
So, did we get a 50-50 split of the merch? No.
No.
Do we get a 50-50 split of much else? Probably not. But
So
we get paid.
Were you across the negotiations as a player?
No. I was well down the rung. I'll just take what I get, thanks.
yeah.
I think the deal we did was 50-50. And then amongst the players, we then decided, I think everyone got a bonus, whether you played or not in the grand final. If you didn't play in the grand final, I think it was sort of like a games played type operation during the year. And then, even players that didn't play during the year got some money. And then there was maybe a small bonus for players that played in the game. Something like that.
So this McClellan Trophy, which, as you say, Hawthorn's right on the cusp of it at the moment. Hawthorn's...
Brisbane is the other side that's in contention.
Yeah, of course,
Given
having
they
won
won
the
the
flags. And Hawthorn, now this is going to test me. Are they expected to win this weekend in the AFLW, which is the so this is effectively like the championship match in English football, where you win the match and the riches start flowing your way. So Hawthorn win this week.
Hawthorn are playing Richmond.
Richmond, okay.
And Richmond are sitting sixth on the ladder.
And Hawks?
And so Hawthorn are playing Richmond.
Yeah.
And Brisbane are playing St Kilda. And St Kilda are 11th. But I think if Hawks win...
Where's Hawks on the ladder, just out of interest?
Hawks are second on the ladder.
Okay, so they're
And
going
They have won
gangbusters.
9 out of 10.
There you go.
So they're very good. As of 2019, so that was a year after we won it, so that's good they put the prize money up after we won it. The Premier received $1.2 million in prize money with $660,000 for the runners-up. Prior to the increase in 2007, the prize money for the Premier was only $250,000,
right.
which was not even enough to cover the interstate club's participation in the final series. So there you have it. That's what's going on.
Okay.
I hadn't really thought about whether it was a good deal or not for the players, but I think the club has to get the winning a flag is not just the 22 players that are out there. I think that's clear. It takes a well-oiled, lots of cogs in the machine to go and win a flag, and everything has to be drawing towards one. Is it a 50-50 split? I don't know. Like I said, I don't think there's many other negotiations around the place at 50-50 that things get done and money comes into clubs that maybe the players should get and they don't. I could probably go further at that, but I probably won't, Skeet,
No.
if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. Skeet, that's all we've got for a bit of a wrap around the league. Will Schofield, Mark Redding, Shuttle FootyCast. I missed a big one, Skeeter. AFL meeting with Irish officials to bring back the International Rules Series. We spoke with Zach Toohey over at BackChat. Got him coming up on a guest chat very soon. He's releasing a book. He was all in. He said he couldn't understand why. Like, he had some understanding of why it stopped. He's like, it has to come back. And the way it comes back is to get the best AFL players playing.
When?
Could we do it? Could we do it pre grand final bye?
Well, but then again, if players are that invested in it, as Zach's saying, then surely some of those players that are eligible aren't going to get the chance to play in it because of their grand final commitments. If that's what you're saying.
But it's not going to be.
Well, we'll play it after the GF. I mean, put it this way: the last game that was at Subiaco Oval, I called with Basil for 7 was the international rules game, which was a lot of fun, decent crowd. And going back even before then, there was Glenn Jakovic who played in goals, and he just loved the experience. So you're right. There's an appetite for it. Okay, let me ask this: is it a bigger appetite for that or State of Origin?
Great question. What would I like to see? International rules with the best players. The danger is that there's blowouts. Does Ireland compete? That some of those guys aren't full-time athletes still.
And the rules have been modified, obviously, to cater for them in part.
Ideally, it favours them more because I think we have the advantage of the money and the
professional athletes,
professionalism behind it. So, I don't know. Now, Skater. I'm just going to shoot a quick text.
To anyone particular?
Just hang on 2 seconds.
No,
Can you give me a bit of an insight into what your weekend looks like?
My weekend, so arrive in Melbourne on Thursday, acclimatise, just walk around the area that I'm staying, and then Friday have a bite to eat, get to bed relatively early, maybe before midnight if possible, and then Derby Day on Saturday. So get there about 11:30, first race at 12:20. Big day of racing, Sydney and, of course, in Melbourne, because they've got the race with the Golden Eagle worth $10 million. You speak of dollars. And in Melbourne, the Derby leading into the Cup on Tuesday.
You love this weekend.
It's good fun. I hardly ever bet on horse racing, to be honest with you. I don't. But I love this weekend. It's great. So, well, you're a Victorian. You know what it's like over there.
It's brilliant.
And you've got, not that it's a be-all and end-all, but you're going to have a big number of tourists there with Coldplay there tonight, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then us knuckleheads from Perth.
Now, Skeeter, look, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but I went back, given this is our last 2 a week Shelter FootyCast. Stop bloody looking at me.
I'm just trying to see where we're heading.
I'll tell you where we're heading. This is our last 2 a week Shelter FootyCast. We'll be once a week through November, leading into our big trivia night at the Leederville Hotel. I thought, what better time to review Skeeter's 2024 pre-season predictions?
Wow, you know what? If I knew and could remember what they were, I'd be either grimacing or I'd be laughing.
So I didn't do them because at the time I was gallivanting around probably
Europe or somewhere.
Bali or Europe or God knows where. And so you and Hammer actually sat down before the season and you gave your ladder predictions. You gave Brownlow, Coleman, Rising Star, Premiers, right? So you went into it. You gave you and I actually did a pre-grand finals one where we did Norm Smith and grand final winner. So I'll include those in these. But just so you know, we're not reviewing me. This is just a you, right?
Well, this is obviously not going to. This is going to end in tears, I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, like, how do you think you've gone without really knowing? Like, how do you think you went? This is pre-season.
I think I had Brisbane in the mix to win the flag. I can't remember where I had them, but I think I had that in the mix. Who won the Brownlow? Paddy Cripps. So
like my immediate thoughts on this. Riley suggested, I said, great idea, especially if I would have to go through my stuff. My immediate thoughts on this were, this will be fucking gold. I'll just rip shreds off Skeeter. Poor old Sleepy Joe has no idea what's going on. What's he going to do? So we're going to get into it, all right?
Well, let's go. Biggest build-up, but you just hit me with your rhythm stick, as they say.
Reviewing.
It's a song. You know that song, don't you?
How's it go?
Don't. I've been already stitched up.
No, I don't know the song. How's it go?
It's hit me. No, because I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I end up looking like a goose.
No cameras. No cameras. All right.
That's bull. You think I'm that stupid? It's hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me.
Hit me with your rhythm.
It's in English.
How's it go? Hit me with your rhythm. What is it?
Don't. You think I'm that stupid?
Yes,
anyway, hit me with your rhythm stick.
It's already worked once. I do think you're that stupid. Right. You gave your ladder prediction. Prediction. Okay. Mark Redding's ladder prediction.
Let's go.
I'll go from 8th. You had Adelaide in 8th. Wrong. They made finals. 7th was the Western Bulldog. I actually better pull up what the actual ladder was.
Before you
Because I have no
dismantling
idea.
me.
I have no idea.
I know the Bulldogs made the finals, didn't they?
Who?
The Bulldogs played finals, so
think
that's
so.
good.
I think so.
At least
All right, Bulldogs were 6th in reality. You picked them 7th. Tick. I'll give a big tick for that.
okay.
You had Geelong at 6. Played finals, finished
third.
top 4, finished 3rd. So I'll give you, yeah, okay. 5th place you had GWS. They finished 4th. Big tick. Like going well. Collingwood in 4th.
Gone.
Collingwood missed finals. You missed that. You had Carlton at 3. Made finals. Didn't make top 4. I'll give you a tick. Who's that?
That's just a contact. I can't talk right now. That's why.
Okay, very good. Is that the boss?
No, it's
the
not
home boss.
No, it's not the boss. The boss of Telethon, actually.
Okay, very good. Now Carlton, 3rd position. They finished 8th. So you tick, but
Just.
not top 4. You had Port Adelaide 2nd position. Port Adelaide finished 2nd. You absolutely got it. And in 1st place, I think maybe you didn't have Sydney there at all. So you didn't have Sydney in the top 8.
That's a fail.
So you missed them. You had Brisbane on top of the ladder. And look, I can only assume that means, which you did, you picked Brisbane Lions as the premiers in 2024. You've absolutely brained it. How many did you get right? 1, 2, 3. I think you only missed Collingwood and Adelaide. And you missed Sydney and you missed
Hawthorn made it, obviously.
Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Sydney and Hawthorn you didn't have in, and they made it. You've got 6 of 8. Oh, I think that's an absolute braining. Congratulations.
It's a good result. Thank you. I think I tipped Brisbane the year before as well. And I've got this argument that I had with you after Geelong won the flag. You thought they'd go back to back, and you probably. Well, they didn't say Collingwood back to back, but I don't think Brisbane will go back to back either. I think it's too hard a competition to.
I don't remember who I said.
Yeah. Either way, I'm taking that. I'm happy with that.
You are. We're going to keep things moving because you got to get back to work, and I've got a meeting to get to. Rising star Harley Reid. I think you get that done if he doesn't get suspended. I'll give you half a pass.
Yeah, and most people had Harley, so it wasn't like I was going outside the square.
Coleman medal. Who won the Coleman?
It was Charlie, wasn't it?
Charlie Curnow again. Yeah.
Oh, no. It was
Jesse Hogan.
Jesse Hogan, of course, yeah.
You had Nick Larkey from North Melbourne.
Yeah, that was
I don't hate the thinking. Maybe he wins it this year with Jack Dartley. Maybe.
Anyway, that's a fail.
And the Brownlow medal was Nick Dacos, in your opinion. Went close.
He should have. Yeah,
But
anyway. It was a record bloody night of votes,
Correct.
wasn't it?
So I think, mate, across the board, very good. We even went into WA sides.
Oh, did we?
You had the Freo Dockers finishing 9th with 12 wins. They finished 10th with 12 wins. You're fucking brained it. I can't believe it. And you've picked West Coast. Mate, you've picked West Coast bottom 2, you said.
Yeah, did I?
But you said they'd win 5 games.
How many games did they win?
They won 5 games.
There you go. It just shows you.
Mate, you picked the wins for both the West Australian teams, and you just missed on Fremantle by percentage. They would have finished 9th without the draw. They had the draw with Collingwood, and they would have been in 9th place.
I know you laugh at me and think I have been in this game for 30 odd years, so even though we have some hits and misses, you can laugh and joke and say you got no idea and you don't know who Monique Wakefield is from Melbourne. And
Well, you tell me what number to say where.
45.
Okay. Now, what am I reading these out, Jaden? Okay. We're going to get them at the bottom. So, Skeeter, I would like to say congratulations.
Thank you. Now, you know what? It's a science, but a very unscientific procedure. So, but that's. I'll sit down over summer and do the same again for next year.
Incredible scenes. We're going to finish off with this, Skeeter. This is just come in across the board about some of the young fellas and what they're getting asked by recruiters. So this is to Bo Allen, who's very
highly thought of from Peel Thunder.
Yes, and people think that he may go to West Coast. I'm just reading I don't know what context is it. If some of the boys got into a fight and you didn't go, and the coach called you, what would you say? A question asked of West Australian Bo Allen by AFL club.
So this is on field, you're saying?
Yeah, so, maybe Andrew Gaff gets knocked out by Tom Jonas and there's an all-in brawl and Bo Allen stands around watching and the club called you. I think that, is that what that means? If some of the boys got into a fight and you didn't go and the coach called you, what would you say? I think that's that one.
Yeah, so essentially, I think most would go in and fly the flag to some degree.
Correct. I think that's difficult for a young guy and an easy one to answer. Just be like, I was a bit scared or I didn't know what was going on.
Put this for Harley Reid, I'd have no question. He'd be first or second man in.
I actually saw one of these last night. I'll read the other two in a second, but it was you're in the sauna. This is from Richmond to a player. You're in the sauna or ice bins, and you're meant to be there in there for 10 minutes. And at the 5-minute mark, Dusty Martin just gets up and walks out. What do you say to him? That's a good one.
That's good. I thought when you're talking about the saunas, I thought you were talking about a Seinfeld episode where they're real and they're spectacular.
Oh, that's very good. Keep your eyes up. Look, as a young player, it'd be difficult in a circumstance with recruiters. Like, you'd love to think, I'd tell Dusty to get back in there. Mate, I'll tell you right now, I'll say Ben Cousins, Chris Judder, guys, and me as a 17-year-old. If Juddy's jumping out of the ice bins and I'm a young player, I'm just mouth shut. Don't even look at him. Don't even speak. Mate, seriously, what are you going to do? Call him out, please. Who did that? Alex Rance did it to Matthew Richardson in his first training session. Richo didn't run through the cones, and Alex Rance called him out and said, "What are you doing?" And Richo politely said, "How about you fuck off, Rance? I'll do what I like." 30-year-old Matt Richardson, who fell into his own pool.
I saw that vision. And he had his phone in his pocket as well. That is something, who'd do that? Me.
Can I say, I'm hoping that we can set up a surveillance camera at your house because I can...
Forget falling into a pool, just general daily chores that I completely butcher. That'd be perfect.
No, I don't like that. Oh, the third one, if Dusty walked out of the sauna 5 minutes early, what would you say to him? We've just answered it. I like them a lot. Skeet, we're going to wrap this up. That is brilliant. Look, all I can say is we're going to end this double show a week thing with a massive tick. Mark Reddings, you've had a great year, mate. Congratulations.
And I've had a lot of fun with you. And most importantly, we've loved the interaction from those on the podcast, listening and the correspondence.
We will see you next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't know yet, but we'll release a show and we'll get all of Skeeter's comings and goings from the big week of racing.
Whether we end up alive or whatever it is at Flemington, we will make sure we find a winner for you for, well, it'll be Cup Day come and gone, but...
Skeeter will come riding in here as a jockey on a horse, start whipping the butt. All right, we're done. See ya.
Have a good one.